Hello, everyone. Welcome to the NBA Rookie Showcase, where we will see the top prospects competing for a top spot in the upcoming NBA Draft. This is Kevin Harlan alongside my friend Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg.
And Kevin, you know, this is a game I always look forward to. I mean, there's excitement and anticipation. There's such a great concentration of young talent. This really begins the process for these young men of kind of measuring themselves against the year we saw from Dion Waiters. And this game for the players, an exciting moment.
That's right, Clark, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't get a lot of attention outside this gym, but for these young men, the importance of these games.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one. First one falls for him. Both free throws good from Kelly. Gone here in the first quarter. McLemore, the pass to Carter Williams. The dish now to Bennett. "13 feet away," and that one goes long.
Beautiful passes he's making to set up his teammates out there.
And that's something he'll definitely bring to the table for whichever team drafts him. His ability to make plays for other people.
Here's Kennedy. Noel. Soft touch off the glass.
Sloppy defense there. You can't let him get the ball in his hands down there.
Well, when he does, that's an automatic bucket.
Carter Williams kicks to McLemore. Pass to Len. Defended by Noel. Shoots from 8. Tried to bank it in, but he misses. The Elites leading by 3. Here's Kelly. And he's knocked off course by the D. The foul called. He'll shoot free throws. These are his third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. That free throw good from Kelly. Both free throws good from Kelly.
Steve, I even saw some cameras flashing before the game taking pictures of you, my friend. You've reached celebrity rock star status even in your understated way, man.
The 4 for the Stars. You've got Land. Ahmed is out there with Bennett. Then it's McLemore. And it's Carter Williams in at the 1 spot. And Muhammad kicks to Carter Williams. Shot clock at 6. Here's Bennett. Slammed home, and he draws them with glass.
And a nice bonus from him. I mean, if he can rebound like this in the NBA, he'll make a team very happy.
Kelly lays it in without an inch of room around him. Missed 7 points for the quarter.
But what can you say? I mean, he's good, and he's making sure everybody here knows it.
Well, it's been his lifelong dream to play in the NBA, and he's showing he's ready for the challenge.
Now, here's Burke. He's got 6. Here's Kennedy. And that one's good. He's got 8.
Watching not the performance he was hoping for.
They set the screen. Pass to Porter. 1:04 left here in the second. Takes it off the glass.
Well, an exciting first half of basketball now in the books.
Yeah, they're really putting on a show and rising to the occasion so far.
Well, we've got a moment. Let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up for the second half. So on the floor for the Elites, Kelly in his point guard. Cody Zeller out there with Noel. Then it's Porter. And it's Oladipo in at the shooting guard.
You know, one of the things I noticed this year on my way into the big event here is all the glitz and the glamour. I mean, the arena's decked out. You got vendors outside, the limousines with by an NBA front office. This is the place to be. And it's just one game, and you've got their full attention.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals. 13 points in the game.
So there's a lot to like about this young guy.
Yeah, one of the things to like is his mobility and the fact that he's got gymnastics in his background. How about that? You won't find many basketball players that are north of 7 feet tall that at one time were gymnastically inclined. So he can cover ground, and I think that makes him even more of a factor defensively early on in his career.
And again, it's the Elites from deep.
Those are starting to add up. Of their last 5. Just take it to the hoop, my friend. Take it to the hoop.
And how, Clark. Brilliant throwdown.
Yeah, just exerting his authority out there.
The pass to Kelly. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Really an extraordinary game, fundamentals. He's got 13 points and 2 steals. He's showing us those quick hands today, both when he has the ball and when he doesn't.
Yeah, he's really distributed well on the offensive side, and then ball hawking defensively. He's been impressive.
By 10. They set the pick. Kelly passes to Gobert. He used that pick to get in close. McLemore's got 4 points this quarter. Here's Mr. Fundamentals, defended by Carter Williams. Shot's good.
Those are almost always 2 points for him. I guess the defense did what it had to do to bother him.
Dishes to Porter. Drills the 3-point. Defended by Kelly. Carter Williams dishes to Bennett. They need this one. And it's blocked by Zeller. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Stripped it away. Here's Caldwell Pope, defended by Carter Williams. And the call will be against Alex Lamb. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
Looked to me like the defender didn't get squared up and get his feet set.
Good work by the officials. A nice call. That play can be tough to judge sometimes.
Porter kicks to Noel. The rim rattler.
Just a remarkable jam.
There's the dish to Land. The feet to Carter Williams. 2 on none. No one back to stop this. Here's Porter. Hammers it home. He passes to Plumlee. He kicks to Goodwin. Just 5 to shoot. Puts the lead pass in front of him. Here's Walters. Rejected by Kelly. And it's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over. A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
That's a nice hoop there.
Here's Mr. Fundamentals, defended by Walters. Olynyk the pass to Kelly. Gets it to go.
I know you just got done playing and probably want to catch a shower, so I'll keep this brief. I'm the GM of the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're picking 9th in the upcoming draft. We love what we saw in you and want to ask you some questions to see how well you'd fit in with us. Question number 1. I feel like we have a really solid point guard in Ricky Rubio, but I would be remiss to not look at all available options in the draft. How do you think you compare to Ricky?
Well, just like everyone else, I've only seen highlights of Ricky. I really think we can learn a lot from each other and ultimately would help us to both become better players. How that works with your roster, I guess that's for you to figure out.
All right then, one more. Minneapolis is truly a beautiful city, but are you aware of just how brutally cold the winters are? We have freezing cold, we have snow, we have it all. I've seen players walk in telling me that nothing can stop them, only to be defeated by the weather. The gosh darn weather. Can you deal with these types of adverse conditions?
Man, I was born and raised in cold weather. This ain't nothing. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that when the weather gets cold, it's basketball time. That's my favorite time of the year.
Thanks so much for your time. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but we would be ecstatic if you're still on board when it's our turn to pick. Greetings. I'm the GM and Director of Player Personnel for the Detroit Pistons. We have the 8th pick of the draft and are looking for someone to be the face of our franchise. We'd like to ask you a couple questions and get a feel of how well you'd fit in with us. The team that we built here in Detroit was a rebuilding effort that didn't quite pan out. Obviously, it's difficult to predict the future, but I expect to see a fair amount of roster turnover as we work towards retooling the lineup for another rebuilding effort. How comfortable would you feel coming into a situation where the roster is in a state of flux?
It sounds to me like you're saying that I should expect a season or two where the roster is built to develop rather than win right away. I can get on board with that because it'll give me some time to form chemistry with the other guys on the team. To me, sounds like the same recipe the Thunder used, and that worked incredible for them.
Next question. This is a question we ask all our potential draftees, and I want you to answer it as honestly as possible. Where do you see your career going? What do you hope to achieve out of your career? Ultimately, what do you want your legacy to be?
Wow. Okay. So I want my career to go wherever it takes me, as cliche as that sounds. Ultimately, I want to be the best basketball player and best team player I can be. At the end of the day, that's really all I can ever ask out of myself. I want to be remembered as someone who gave 110% every time he set foot on the court.
Okay, I think I've heard all I needed to hear for now. You're definitely someone we can use on our team. Now we just need you to be available when it's our turn to pick.
Well played out there tonight. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the GM of the Trailblazers. We have the 10th pick in the draft and are interested in your talents. We just want to pick your brain a little before we decide. Let's get to it. Aside from a few veterans, this is a very young team. We're bringing in a lot of young talent this offseason, and it won't be easy to get this team back into the playoffs immediately. Are you willing to take your lumps as a team in order to grow as a core along with all the other young talent the Blazers have?
I think so. I know you guys are in a bit of a rebuilding process right now, but what better way to rebuild than with a franchise guy like me? I won't stand for losing too long, but if all goes according to plan, that won't be the case, man. As long as the Blazers will believe in me, I'll believe in them.
Let's see. One more question, if you don't mind. This question is a tough one to ask, as there really isn't a right or wrong answer. Over the last couple of years, we've had entire seasons washed out by insurmountable injuries. As a franchise, we're becoming more conscious on injury histories and what that means for our draft picks. What can you tell us about your injury history, and more importantly, your ability to play through pain?
Fortunately, I've been blessed with good health, man. I think the worst injury I've ever had was a sprained ankle, you know? I picked up some knocks over the years, but it's never held me back in practice or in games. I feel like I'm a safe pick for you guys in that regard.
Okay, that's all I have. I love what I heard here. We would love to have you join us. We'll be in touch.
Good evening and welcome to the 2013 NBA Draft. Tonight marks the realization of a dream for some of the best young players in the world, a reward for their many years of dedication and hard work. It's also a time of extraordinary hope and excitement for our fans and our teams. I know the young men hoping to hear their names called tonight just can't wait to join the NBA family. So let's get started. With the first pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers select
Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada, and the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
With the second pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Orlando Magic select
Victor Oladipo of Indiana University.
With the third pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Washington Wizards select Otto Porter from Georgetown University. With the fourth pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Bobcats select Cody Zeller from Indiana University. With the fifth pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Phoenix Suns select Alex Len from the University of Maryland. With the sixth pick in the 2013 NBA Draft,
The New Orleans Pelicans. Yes, the New Orleans Pelicans
select
Nerlens Noel from the University of Kentucky.
With the seventh pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Sacramento Kings select
Ben McLemore from the University of Kansas.
With the eighth pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Detroit Pistons select Kentavious Caldwell-Pope from University of Georgia. With the ninth pick in the 2013 NBA Draft, the Minnesota Timberwolves select the point guard from Israel,